Welcome, everybody, to Generation Dan, the only podcast where the summers are hot and the ass is swampy. I'm Atlas Novak. I'm your millennial, and who else is here?
I'm Dino the Genetic Marvel, and I am, you know what? I've been introduced as being from the deep, dark tundra. Now I'm literally in Sasquatch country. I have a high-vis shirt that I'm wearing just to make sure I don't get shot up here. It's fantastic. I'm Dino the Genetic Marvel, everyone.
Bigfoot.
I'm old and curmudgeon.
Yeah, Bigfoot knows no borders, apparently, because he's in the Pacific Northwest and British Columbia. He goes where he damn well pleases.
Yeah. That's right. Similarly to me.
Have you seen that?
That's what I do.
Have you seen that? There's a crossover comic between Star Wars and Indiana Jones, and it's like Han and Chewie crashing the Millennium Falcon into the Pacific Northwest, and Han dies, but Chewie survives and goes out in the wilderness. And then Indiana Jones, hundreds of years later, is in the PNW looking for Bigfoot, and it turns out Bigfoot is Chewie. And it's a weird crossover between Harrison. It's not canon, but it's very funny.
Yeah, I mean, it is very funny. Victoria says hello, Victoria. Yeah, so I'm on the same side of continent as Atlas, but we are still about 20 hours away driving. So I'm in British Columbia and you're in LA, but it was hilarious because last week you were in Oregon and I was like, hey, I'm going to be in BC. You're like, I'm already home. I'm like, oh, well, that doesn't work. That's not.
Yeah. Because I think because you were like, hey, I'm in BC. I'm like, I'm on the Amtrak going away from work. So
yeah. I was coming here to tour and do comedy. Yeah, what is your favorite color? I mean, today the blue skies. That's my favorite color. Being in BC, yeah, we were supposed to be during northern BC, and all of the fires started happening and everything. So it was like, yep, can't do that. So I'm like, all right, we'll try and do some local stuff. There. That has been. Yeah. Now I'm just here. I'm heading back later this week and just doing what we do. So trying to drum up some stuff, but it's all right. It happens. Life. What can you do? Ultimately, I'm trying to write more material and content and still make the time useful. But it's fun.
I was on a show earlier this week at the Comedy Store, and I got to see an interaction that I am so glad I don't have this kind of thing before, which is I'm outside with the other comics and there's a door guy going up to another door guy and he goes, look, and he shows him his Instagram, and then the other guy slinks off and we're like, why did you show him? And he goes, I have 300 more followers than him. That's it. That's the thing. That's the travesty. I thought it was going to be I thought it was going to be I remodeled my house or I got it a new car or something. And I was like, wow, I don't miss this part of the social climbing part at all.
I think we had to, there's a certain part in life where you just realize that you don't produce content for content or for people. You produce content because you're creative and you want to expose that creativity to the universe. Martin said, did you know that a buck-toothed cow says move? It's fantastic. I love it. But yeah, no, it's the idea, especially a bouncer's like, I have 300 more followers than you. But hey man, you're a door guy. I don't think you're lighting up the internet the way you think you are. That's fine. Just very odd. But
I think it's because the people at the Comedy Store have if you are a door guy, you get to perform regularly at the Comedy Store, which is that's kind of a big deal in the comedy world. But
yes,
I don't know. It just kind of seems soul sucking to be on that treadmill.
Yes. Hey, I walked into one of the comedy clubs, Absolute Comedy here. And I walked in, I saw a comedian. I'm like, hey. He's like, hey, what are you doing here? I'm like, watching the show. What are you doing here? He's like, I'm working. And I'm like, oh, all right, cool. But, it's doing it for spots. I get it. But, also, why? Be better. Be funnier. That's,
I tried to do shows when I was up in Eugene again, and the guy who I had talked to last time who got me all those spots 2 years ago, I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be back in town." He's like, "I don't live in Eugene anymore. Sorry."
Oh.
He's up.
And then you saw him, and you're
no. He's up in Washington State. He's like, "But hope it's going. Hope it's going well." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks." It was just very funny.
oh
Yeah. Where like a connection that you had was just like, I'm over here now.
yeah. So if you're ever over here, let me know. But I can't help you. That's, I mean, that's I think the cool thing about comedy. So like tomorrow we're gonna go. Atlas, did you watch the English versus France game yesterday? That's a good question.
No, but I have read up about the 100 Years' War, and that sounds about the same.
Listen, I'll be honest with you. The French didn't give up until the third goal. And then in the second half, they were all invigorated, and then they got slaughtered once again. It was great. It was enjoyable.
That is actually pretty much what the 100 Years' War was.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah. It's English
art and history.
Yeah. And then Joan of Arc shows up, and then they lose anyway. It's great.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's about seeing the patterns. That's just... Like, the funny thing was, so... I like Lego. I build a lot of Lego. I'm not doing any Lego now because I don't have any Lego with me. But at the same time, like a ton of the Lego stuff, products and merchandise is focused around two people, which is Ronaldo and Messi. And then there was quite a bit of controversy with Argentina, which is Messi's team. Portugal, which is Ronaldo's team, is out. And for him, it was actually a whole thing because he was like, he has tons of awards. He doesn't have a World Cup. And, for someone in that industry, it's a big deal. So his team got out and it was sad because he's retiring. He's like, this is my last World Cup. I'm out. And it's a lot. But Messi, his Argentinian team has had quite a bit of
controversy.
I don't want to say controversy, but like, suddenly none of their fouls get called and fouls against them are just enormously exploding. And like the last team that they played to get the final spot was Egypt. And Egypt was like, this game is rigged. They were cheating us. And to the point where the official World Cup people were like, oh, those referee and his team has been banned from the rest of the games, but doesn't change the outcome of the game. And you're like, so, wow, we're so sorry that happened, but move on. Just move on. And yeah. So it's been interesting seeing the discourse
on. Yeah. It's been interesting seeing the discourse online with like particularly Latino people because it's Spain versus Argentina. So you have the Nazi country where all the Nazis fled to after World War II and also did a lot of fascist things in the 80s versus the colonizing force that led to a lot of these countries being what they are today anyway. So they're like, I don't know which one to root for.
The funny part is that and we discussed this whole thing was that sports categorized as sports have a lot of rules and regulations that they have to follow to make sure everything is fair. Entertainment, however, does not. And slowly every corporation that owns teams has transitioned or governing body of teams has transitioned from them being called sports or being listed as sports or categorized as sports instead of being listed as entertainment, which means that the outcome can be preordained, let's say.
So WWE.
That's correct. That's 100% where it's like, listen, people are playing sports, that's fine, but if the outcome is already decided, then what are we doing here, right? It's the same thing where there are so many people who will be, I guess you would call them like a super fan, where their whole life is about that sport or that team and the players and everything, and you're going, yes, but afterward, win or lose, they are rich and you are still poor. And I've never understood that whole concept of fandom for other people and that's like, you see that right now where people are driving around constantly with flags on their car and everything. teams get kicked out and they're like, I still love my team. And you're like, all right, man, hey, just fucking enjoy. I don't know. It's weird. That's for sure.
Yeah. I told you the story about my dad with the Australian team, right?
I don't remember. Maybe. Yes. No.
Where Australia lost to the US while my dad and I were getting lunch. And the Australian fans were like really bummed out. And they're like, why aren't you guys celebrating more? Because the US people were like, yay. And then went back to whatever it was we were doing.
Yes.
And then my dad, who's like eating a sandwich, puts the sandwich down and goes, because we don't care. This is the sport we put our kids in when we don't know what they're good at yet. And then goes back to his sandwich.
Like, you did tell me that, and you're like, also the like world changing perspective that is, where they're like, this is it's some people's entire world, like it's their whole life, and you're like, oh yeah, I don't care about that. Like, it's the same thing. Like, I find it hilarious because we have so many different avenues. Like, we have different sports in different countries, different leagues. Then you have different genres of music. You have different acting styles. All these things are created for fandom. And when no one is like as intense as you are about your fandom, you kind of, people just look at you like,
it's a little dulling, yeah.
Well, like, I remember when I first started comedy, people were like, oh, you have to read about this and this historic person and how they changed comedy. I'm like, I just want to be funny. I don't really care about any of that. And people are like, no, you have to. I'm like, I don't think I do. If anything, that's And they're like, they changed the world. And I'm like, I don't care.
Some of it comes off as derivative almost, because you have there's that genre of comedian who will like, I'm a super fan of like Sam Kinison or whatever.
Yeah.
And then tries to model themselves off of Sam Kinison too much. And then you're like, okay, so I can just go watch Sam Kinison. Like, I have all those specials and albums and stuff like that. And you know, there's those, or the comics who, like you and me, where we kind of just want to do it because we want to do it, and any resemblance to other comics is accidental. Like, I know that my timing is a lot like Patton Oswalt, and that's because most of my early like comedy listening time was Patton Oswalt. Like, I came across the bit where he's talking about you only get 20 birthdays, and then it was off to the races from there.
It's also, too, you're both dorks. Let's be honest.
Totally.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah. That's so. The funny thing is, I remember another comedian went on stage and she did a bit, and when she came down, I'm like, "Hey, you did really great. Can I show you something?" So I pulled up a thing. I'm like, "Here's the date. This is the bit. It's very comparable to yours. I just wanted to show you. I'm still working on this. You did great. I just want you to know that I'm probably never going to use this because you did such a good job, but you know." Great minds. And she was like, oh, you can use it. I'm like, no, you did a good job, so I'm not going to bother with it. But at the same time, things cross paths, right? And that's why, like, I don't like the idea of looking at other people's comedy and how it was structuring. You're going, no, just tell me what the rules are, and I'll figure out my own thing. If it's popular, great. If it's not, all right, that's fine. You know,
where I fall on that issue of like joke stealing versus parallel thought.
Yeah.
Without context, that's hilarious.
Poop chiller, bro.
I got the parasite. No, in my head, it's parallel thought if the premise is the same. Like, everyone's got a bit about being on dating apps, right? That doesn't mean that you stole it if you talk about dating apps. If the punchline is the same, that's where it starts to get blurry for me. But what happens if someone like stole a joke, because everybody's done that by accident at least once, because they saw it somewhere or someone said something, and the way you do that is you go, hey man, that bears a lot of resemblance to whichever bit that is, and then that should be enough. Some people will lash out at you or will just keep doing the joke anyway, and then other things are going to happen to them. But you did your due diligence by just being like, hey yeah.
Well, and the worst part is there are some people who will just straight up copy other people's material. So there's a growing trend of people who are newer to comedy, finding people who are already passed away and just using their jokes. And you're like, oh,
that's crazy.
So especially popular people, they can sell their book of jokes right? Like that is a real industry and stuff like that. So it's like using an old somebody who's passed away as jokes. You're like, hey man, that's not cool. Like that's not your property. Like intellectual property rules are very complex and stuff, but you're like, hey, you just stole somebody else's stuff. Don't like,
Yeah.
It's weird, right? I don't know. It's one of those things where being yourself is really important in life, more so in professionalism and career and you know, I think people forget how important it is just to be yourself, you know?
Yeah. I tell my students that a lot because I remember being told, just be yourself. And I'm like, myself is not working.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's that.
The way I clarify it to the teenagers of today is the two reasons you should be yourself is one, it's impossible to not be yourself forever. Eventually
Correct.
that facade is going to crack, something's going to fall through, and then it's going to be like an epic crash out. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Two, it's eventually someone will find you charming. Maybe not in high school, you know, but they will eventually, and it's okay just being yourself because eventually someone will find you charming. And that's not to say don't work on yourself ever, but
no.
I feel like I needed that when I was a kid. Like
sure.
That clarification.
Well, that's the whole thing is like every person and individually is one of a kind, you know, for lack of a better definition. Like you are your own person, and whatever you choose to do is fine, but then do it as you want to, you know, don't do it as dictated by others. Don't like all those kind of things factor in. I find it, and the hardest part is growing up and realizing, be like, oh, I can like what other people do. I don't have to be them. I can be a mishmash of all of my experiences and then be me. A lot of people don't get it, right? And a lot of people will, and you know, people say that imitation is the highest form of flattery, which I don't disagree with necessarily, but also don't do what I do. Do what you do and have fun with it. Why are you doing what I do? I don't even do what I do good. Why are you doing it? It's ridiculous.
I know that it's one of those old sayings where we only hear half of it. Like how blood is thicker than water, or the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, where it means the opposite.
Yeah.
But there's like a back half of this. Let me see if I can find the whole thing. Okay. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery that mediocrity can pay to greatness.
Yeah. 100%.
Which means the opposite.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why is that it's been cut like that. So people are gonna be like, oh, do what other people do. And you're like, no. That's the bare minimum for being a functional member of society. After that, you're on your own. And also nobody likes you copying other people. Just to be very clear.
Well, it can be very contradictory because you hear that and also hear a good art is borrowed, great art is steal. And it's like
nope.
Yeah, I can understand the like. Yeah.
That's the like I always try and act in a way that is not indicative of my current circumstances or current like happenings, right? If I'm having a bad day, that's no reason for me to be rude to you. And it is very hard because especially when you're in like the comfort of your own home, you're like, I should be able to be a shitty person to myself. And people are like, nope, not even in your own home. You're like, son of a bitch, you know? And that's that whole thing is, you know, it, like a lot of times people are like, fake it until you make it. You're like, that is very applicable, but very specifically like, hey, if you're sad, just smile. And sometimes it catches on and brings you out of that. And that's a real thing, you know, not saying negative things, saying positive things to yourself. Very important because your mind is not your friend. It is doing a job and it is not good at its job because that's just how the body works. But, you know, a lot of time people don't realize that.
Or like, have you watched Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the Game of Thrones show? Where
not yet, no.
But
so we just
okay.
So
good.
We just got up here. HBO and a few other things are all kind of bundled into a thing called Crave, and like it kind of sits there and messes with you. So now with FIFA happening, all the games were on Crave. So Victoria's like, you know what? We're going to get rid of one of our other subscriptions. We're going to get that so we can watch all the games. So I'm like, I'm in. And then TSN was like, oh yeah, the one game you wanted to watch, which was the England France game, is like, oh yeah, that's only on TSN. And you're like, son of a bitch. And the last French game was only in French. And you're like, why? Why is it only in French? There's no reason for it to only be in French. That's that simple.
Those goddamn Quebecers ruined it for everyone.
Hey, that's not French. It's Quebecer, and it doesn't. It's basically just clicks and yells. Okay, it's ridiculous. Not even like
Quebecers so much. It's so funny to me because it's like a very like narrow kind. I don't know.
What's up, the real Martello? How's it going?
Well, anyway, so Night of the Seven Kingdoms is focused on this knight, like 100 years before the original series, and he's huge. He's like almost 7 feet tall.
Perfect.
And it opens with like he's a squire for like a hedge knight, which is like a poor knight. He's not part of the great houses. So his knight dies, and he buries him, and he was never knighted, but no one's around to know that. So he just kind of pretends he's a knight. He has the skills to, but he's not like officially in the eyes of like all this stuff. So he's like getting by the seat of his pants, but he's a really good warrior and he's a nice dude. And like, that's fake until you make it. Cause like you have the skills, just not the, like the red tape or the luck. Of
the birth credentials, things like that, which are, that's where, see, this is where people forget that inclusiveness and equality were derived from the idea that just because you weren't born in a certain area or to a certain family didn't mean that you can't have the skills to be proficient in that area. Because a lot of times in history, a family dictated who was able to practice XYZ skill because they were in control. It's the same reason why you had guilds and things like that, because they wanted control over what the outcome was. And even if you had the skills, well, if you weren't in with the group, you're not allowed to practice because that's not to our standards and so on and so forth. And essentially it's the creation of bureaucracy, which has just become a goddamn nightmare. But, you know, that is 100%. You're right. It's fake it until you make it, is being skillful and not accredited. You know, you're trying to show your value so that you can get accredited and continue as such. But, you know,
or like you lack the skills, but you have the like veracity or at least the willingness to
gusto.
The gusto. Also, it's a great show. You should watch it.
I will. It's it's that's the thing is HBO being on Crave, all the other streaming services we have, it would be actively not on there. And I'm like, oh my God. So basically Victoria and I have been binge watching stuff on Crave. Like we're on season 3 of Westworld. We had only watched season 1 and part of season 2. So we just started binging because now we have access to it. So the Game of Thrones stuff also. I still haven't watched the last episode of the original Game of Thrones
it's not
seasons. I know. I watched the second last and I'm like, oh, fuck this shit. And I walked away. But I've heard Night of the Seven Kingdoms is actually really good. But
it's because like, you know, House of the Dragon is also very serious. Like it's a prequel, but Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the opening scene is like he buries his knight. The knight that he was squire to, and he's got his 3 horses, and he goes, you know, there's a tournament in Ashford, and then you hear the da-na-na-na-na, like the theme song starting, and then it cuts off and shows him like having diarrhea behind a tree.
Nice.
That's the first scene. Perfect. Like it really sets the tone for like, okay, this is definitely not going to be super serious the way the other shows are. Yeah,
which is good. Atoya says hello, and I am a kid.
Then go away, please.
Yeah, we swear here, so you probably shouldn't be here. Just an FYI.
Yes, school is starting soon. Go get your school supplies.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen! Come on, yeah. Focus on school, kids.
That is revenge for me going to any like store and then being like, back to school season, motherfucker. It's like the joke about like Mariah Carey is starting to thaw around like August. Yeah, that's how it feels, but with back to school.
100%. Atreya says, "I do not fucking care." Well, that's fine. You're not allowed. You don't have to, but we have to give you that warning. See, this is what people don't understand. You can do whatever you want, but I have to warn you in advance so you can't later on go, "What? I didn't know that was going to happen. How could?" Well, we warned you, and that's see, that's called being responsible. Yeah, I feel like there's a certain joy as a teacher telling people that, hey, your days are going to be ruined real soon. You're going to need that alarm in the morning. Also, homework double.
We're going to need that alarm in the morning. I have to start like moving away from my night gremlin ways, like I do in the summer. Because we start August 12th, which is some bullshit.
Why would you start so early? That is still summertime.
I know. So
do your classrooms have air conditioning?
We do. Like really good air conditioning. Yeah.
Okay.
June, fine. We ended like mid-June and come back mid-August, which is like, that's some bullshit. When I was a kid, it was June, and we come back after Labor Day. Labor Day was the last gasp of summer. After I left high school.
Is it students like back in classes, or you having to go back to like do work?
No, there's a couple days before where like you have time to set up your classroom, this and that.
Before
the kids get
there. But students are starting mid-August.
Yeah, it's mid-August. Which is terrible. So after I left high school, it changed to like, okay, May to August, which is fine. That's still the same amount of time. And now as a teacher, it's June to August. And they're like, yeah, but you get more random 3-day weekends through the year. I'm like, that's not, I'm still in work mode during that time. You know, I want the longer, the longer vacation.
Well, that's what people have forgotten is that like, so the first people who are like, oh, I got a lot of long weekends. Yeah, a long weekend is not enough to actually recharge. So you need 3 days decompression, vacation, and then the last 3 days of your vacation is recompression to your working life. So that's 6 days. That's why like at 10, I've always found 7 days is not enough. 2 weeks, I start to get anxious. And I'm like, I feel I'm away from home for too long. Makes me uncomfortable. But you know, that's one of those things where you just kind of figure it out. But yeah, that's why it's a 10-day vacation is usually just perfect that you've had enough time to decompress and I'm ready to get back to life, you know? Whereas 3-day weekend, I just started decompressing and I'm like, back to work. Yeah, no, thank you.
It's I can't. Okay, so we get 3 weeks of winter and 1 week of spring. When I was a kid, it was 2 and 2, and I like that better.
I didn't know you guys got
so
March. What do you mean 2? You got 2 weeks in spring. Your March break was 2 weeks long.
Yeah, so we just called it spring break, and it's nice. When I was a kid, it was 2 weeks, and then now it's 1 week, and they made the Christmas break, winter break 3 weeks. I think because it's like 1 week is basically just for Christmas and New Year's. So they go one on each end, and then or whatever. I don't know.
I mean, it's weird, right? This is the thing is too like I love having a day off. The problem is usually if it's like a statutory holiday, everything's closed, so you can do nothing, and you're like, that's not a fun experience either. But you know, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
that's why I like nothing on those days. 0.
One of my favorite like conversations to have with people is they're like, yeah, but you're a teacher, you get summers off. You shouldn't. I'm like, how about it should be you guys should get summers off.
Yeah.
Too. Or at least like you know, like the way most countries do, which is 6 weeks paid leave to use as
Hey, 6 weeks paid leave is also August, nobody's doing anything. And in Asia, Chinese New Year, nobody's doing anything. Just an FYI.
August is such a crap month anyway. There's no major holidays. It's hot. Like,
I planned my birthday is in August, so I'm trying to change it. If I can become famous enough, I can make it a holiday. I feel like if I, do something, it'll work. But I gotta work towards it.
I think what would really go for making summer like not as terrible, i.e., like with our countries being on fire every year. So hooray, full circle. is some sort of holiday with a season.
Yeah.
And because what makes like the winter fun is the holiday season, not the actual holidays. When
I gotta
the
go.
lights,
Keep
the
talking.
hot
I'll be back
the-
in 2 seconds.
Okay.
I gotta go.
Okay. So the lights, the cocoa, the all that stuff, I think is cooler than the actual holiday of Christmas or um, New Year's or Hanukkah or whatever. So what would be cool is in the summer, like let's say you make a holiday in like early August for this and that, and then that way the lead up to it is June and July. And like June is Pride Month. July, at least for the U.S., is Independence Day, but that's just one day. And then the rest of July is like the lead up to this August holiday. And then, yeah, that way there's not like this weird drought between the holiday season and the next holiday season. Hi, Life Ordinary 87. Dino is, I assume, shitting out his doo ass. Like something over there. Let's see. I am in my bedroom because I had to move my desk in here because the previous office is going to be my child's room. Hooray. Dino and I still need to come up with like a nickname for my kid to refer to because I don't want to dox my kid when he is born. But we'll see about that. Toya's mean. It's not that big of a deal. There was somebody on here earlier who like used a racial slur. They got banned. How are you guys doing today, Atoya and Life Ordinary? While I wait for Dino to come back. I'm probably gonna cut this portion out during. It's okay.
Hi, Atoya is mean. Good. Yeah, that's fine. So,
yeah,
guys, I almost
talking shit to.
Yes, you're allowed to. I almost beat the bits. That's all.
Yeah.
It's like I was gonna try and wait, and I'm like, yep, nope, it's not doing it.
Oh my god, I guessed it right. I was like, I wonder what he's doing. Probably shitting out his doo-doo ass, and I was right. Hooray! Yeah.
You know what? The funny thing, I do have to poop, but I was like, I can hold the poop. I need to pee though. That's gonna be traumatic. I'm a YouTuber. Life Ordinary. Nice. I'm glad you are.
Okay.
Let us know if there's something we can elaborate on. So what do you planning? So you have like you're down to the wire for your summer. What are the plans? Are you guys doing anything or just?
I mean, the trip to Oregon was like the big thing. Everything else is just like getting ready for the baby. Baby showers on August 8th is when we're doing that.
I'm back. Don't worry, Victoria. I had to pee. That's why. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. August is the baby shower before we go back to school. So that's like the last big thing before.
Yeah. Well, when's the due date again?
October 7th is the due date.
October 7th. Halloween baby. That should be interesting. You're gonna have a Halloween child.
Kinda, yeah. Like if he's born in late September or something, that would throw a wrench.
Then it's then it's an Oktoberfest baby. Best of luck.
Yeah. And then they're like, I forget which sign is it. I think Libra. I don't know. Someone said it to me one time, and now I can't remember. Which I don't know what that means. But yay, I guess. Like all of the signs kind of sound the same when they're like, you have this quality, but this one has this quality, but they're also similar in this way. I'm like, you just make it general enough to where it seems like it could apply to everyone. Also, how come Libra is the only one that's not a person or a creature? It's an object. Because like Leo is a lion, Scorpio is a scorpion, Pisces is fish. Libra is a set of scales, not somebody holding the scales, just a set of scales. Aquarius is a guy who's like pouring water or whatever. That's a guy. It's not the water pot. Why is Libra just the object? It's very strange.
Interesting. I mean, that's fair.
What are we doing? What's going on?
Yeah. Why is this the one thing that's not a person? Yeah.
That SNL sketch with the Tucker Carlson thing is gonna live in my brain forever. Like
that's fair. That's fair. Listen, the only bad part is later on in life, if you get dementia, you might just be randomly quoting Tucker Carlson in your later years, and people are like, "I don't know what's with this guy.
What
like,
are we
he's
doing?
just-
What's going on?" Yeah.
I'll
That's
be
all
honest
he's
with
been
you.
saying for 3 days. Yeah.
Gotta go pick up my brother from Singapore. Bye. See you later. Life is ordinary. Chance. Charlotte CGY. There you go. That's the thing about it is like that hold on. What are we doing? Has sneaked into my vocabulary, but I do it very differently from Tucker Carlson. But I'm like, what is happening here? What is this? What is going on? You know, and because it's just the audacity of how insane everything is, which is aggressive.
Yeah.
But
There's a lady who shows up on my TikTok from time to time, and it's like Tucker Carlson as her toddler, and she's just like, doing this about like why I can't put my shoes on the wrong feet or that kind of thing. Apparently, the woke left says I have to put the L shoe on my left foot and the R shoe on my right foot. What are we doing? What's going on?
Hey, man.
It's right.
At the same time, if you've ever, I'm sure you've seen this. Your wife has definitely seen this, where a kid walks in with shoes on the wrong foot. You look at the parent, and the parent's like, I don't care anymore. Just let them walk.
Or
it's
like
fine.
in a weird costume, and it's like that was the only way I could get them out of the house was in the Spider-Man costume. Just roll with it.
Yeah. I've never understood that because you're just gonna be kicked out of the house. It's fine. Someone's gonna grab you and just lift you up and put you in the car. It's fine. People are like, no, I have an opinion, and I'm not leaving. And you're like, oh, that's not. You're too small to have an opinion, and you don't pay rent. I've been screaming at my cat lately. I'm like, hey, if you don't pay rent, you better clean up the place. Okay, just absolutely not.
My friend's cat is a big fat kitty with little white paws named Poe, and he meows like a conversation. Or I'm like, Poe, you're in my chair, like, and he's like loud with it too. So like my friend would just fucking have conversations with the cat
100%
all day.
Yeah.
Really funny.
All the time.
He and I went to the sand dunes at Florence in Oregon.
Oh, nice.
Which is where Frank Herbert got the idea for Dune.
That was the mushroom trip that he was on, right? Yeah.
Well, he says he likes to go there because it's where he likes to go to think, and I can understand why. Because on one side, like where you park your car, it's this big like wall of grass. And then just grass as far as the eye can see. And the reason that's there is to keep the sand dunes from blowing away. Like they planted it so it kept the like shape of the dunes. But it also absorbs sound like a snowdrift. So like we parked the car and get out and it's completely quiet. Yeah. And then you climb up the sand dune and onto the other side where it's just sand and it's the ocean. And I'm like, I can't believe the difference between like just going over the ridge. Like completely changes the sound. And like Frank Herbert apparently got the idea because it's a non-native grass that was brought in, so it's like, a non-native force on a desert planet. Like that's where that idea comes from.
So I've never been to this side of the country, up in Canada at least. So I went to Las Vegas when I was 30. I went to LA for your wedding, and then this is the first time I've been out west in Canada. And the one thing, and even my the friends that I'm staying with, they were like, "Oh yeah, it's a lot more quiet." Like where we are here, which I'm assuming Oregon would be similar because there's so much vegetation. They've actively incorporated it into like so they live with the vegetation instead of clearing an area and putting houses. So there's a lot more trees and big shrubbery and stuff like that. So sound doesn't carry in this weird way, and when it does, it's anomalous. Like this morning, I heard like a snap, but it was like the giant billed dinosaur bird where it's like tuk, 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 and it's like loud. All right, it was like that kind of like a tuk, and I'm like, I just stopped what I was doing and just looked at its direction, and I'm like, what was that? Like you hear things a lot more distinctly in this weird where it's relatively very quiet. But yeah, so like loud sounds, you're kind of like, Also, I'm way out. So the city is Victoria because I'm on an island. So the
Mhm.
city is about an hour away, and I'm in like a little. We back onto a lake and stuff, and there are
Mhm.
cabins, and it's beautiful, but it's also so quiet. But
Almost
it's one of
eerily
those
so,
things
right?
at times, yeah. So a few times like it's rained and stuff, and you're kind of just sitting there. You know how in Lord of the Rings when they're like, "Oh, I don't like the way those clouds look," and then the next picture is them just sitting there getting rained on. Like it
Yeah.
kind of is like that in a way, but at the same time, you're like it's very therapeutic, where you're just kind of going, "Oh, nice." Like I didn't bring any mushrooms with me, just because that's not smart to travel with. But like I don't know if I could do mushrooms out here. I don't know what would happen because I'm not necessarily a nature mushroom guy. That's
Oh, I think that's if I were to do them again, it is kind of how it works. Because like every time I've done it in a positive way, it's been in nature.
yeah,
And the one time I did it where like it did not leave a good effect on me after was when I did it
Oh.
at home. Yeah.
that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I like nature, but I need it in small doses if I'm doing
Okay, that's fair.
those kind of because I'm like I'm not an outdoorsy guy, and I'm also paranoid that I'm going to go walk about not know where I am. Right. So I'm like, no, I need a controlled environment. I need a thing. Did you know this is horrible? Did you know that a pig is a heavy, but a Zippo is a little lighter? How dare you, Martin? How dare you? Shame on you.
Are you on the same island where the pig war almost happened?
I don't know.
Okay,
I'm very unknowledgeable about a lot of
I'll
things.
send
Let's
you.
just say that.
I'll send you the oversimplified video, but it's a war that almost happened between Britain and the U.S. in like the 1840s and 50s because somebody killed a pig, and it's like the first
That seems
British were trying to settle it, and then Americans were trying to settle it. It was going back and forth. The wedding cake just kicked in. Okay,
what does that even mean, Martin? Jesus.
I don't know what that means either. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm like that's the thing is out here there are deer and they're a little smaller because we're on the island. Apparently it's a subspecies, it was explained to me. And like so it's a different experience that like for it being quiet, and it's nature is weirdly invasive but not invasive, like, and like you don't necessarily see a lot of, I haven't been seeing too many animals everywhere or bugs, like it's very different and I'm enjoying it. It's a beautiful place, that's for sure, but it's hard to also I'm not used to
Weed
how
strain.
like
Oh.
yeah, it's a weed strain. Oh, I've had wedding cake, yeah, that's fair. The like also being in a different climate necessarily, it's tough to predict how to be reactive to the weather. So like yesterday I was wearing a sweater and I was like, this is a horrible mistake and I have nothing on underneath. So I'm like, I'm just gonna keep wearing my sweater. Let's just be hot. It's fine. Hang out in the shade. It's not, but yeah, it's very cool. I do, and I wasn't joking about that. I do have a high-vis jacket because this is 100% Sasquatch country. Like there's a lot of forestry where I'm like, ooh, can't handle that. That is very dangerous.
Are you afraid that if you don't wear a high-vis jacket, someone will mistake you for Bigfoot?
That's 100% factual. That is.
And if they do, what happens?
I'm getting shot. So someone's gonna put my face on their wall and be like, I killed Bigfoot. I'm just gonna be like, that's basically.
And here I thought you would want to do the thing you do best, which is troll people by just being like, you thought I was Bigfoot. Turn around. Do you see fur on the face? Okay, ignore the beard. But do you see fur on the face?
Yeah. Do you see any hair? Okay, it's about here. This should be traditionally covered in hair, everyone. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the idea that someone's like, I saw Bigfoot with a bald spot. I'm like, I absolutely the fuck not. Like, listen, you. How dare you? Yeah. It's
called male pattern Bigfoot. Yeah.
Male pattern Bigfoot. It's accurate. But yeah, no, it's been a really
or
really
a Sasquatch line.
Sasquatch line.
Yeah. Or a Sasquatch hairline, whatever.
That the re-evolution or de-evolution of the Sasquatch, who knows? If Sasquatch goes bald, is he becoming more polite to part of society, or is he regressing? Who knows? Did you know what you call a dog with no legs?
I know the
It's better be good. It's better be good.
Guy with no arms, no legs floating in the ocean. Guy with no arms and no legs on your doorstep. That kind of stuff.
It's horrible,
No?
Martin.
Okay.
Horrible. Yeah.
Call him whatever
So
money ain't coming. That's stupid.
Dastardly Martin. Okay, that was actually pretty funny though. Still, how dare you? Yeah. So what else are you guys preparing for incoming baby and things like? Have you started reading the books? I'm aware that there are a lot of books. People will be like, you have to read these books. How are you preparing yourself?
I read a book called The Conscious Parent.
Oh,
and
that's nice.
I think that's more for when my kid is walking and talking than when they are a baby. But with like new, I haven't read like what to expect when you're expecting or anything like that, which I should,
Sure.
I guess. Part of it is like Katie has experience with babies and stuff like that.
Sure.
And I have some experience, but with my sister when she was like a year old.
So you want to be prepared enough to relieve her in her time of need. That's all it is, because especially in the first 6 months, they're kind of attached to the hip regardless.
Right.
It's not, so being ready. There's a few YouTube channels that show different techniques for rocking babies, especially helping them relieve colic and stuff like that. Know those very, very clearly, because it's not when times are good, she has no need for you. If anything, she'll be like, ugh, what are you doing here? Right? It's very normal. But when she's exasperated, you want to superhero and just be like, I can help. It will should. It's a post-pregnancy lady. You're dealing with some sort of dragon person. So they may burn you alive regardless, but by trying to help, being helpful is it's one of those things where someone's like, I know what I'm doing. They do not. I got this. They don't got this. So when you can prove that, be like, hey, can I help? And you are helpful. It takes the emotional burden of childbirth and rearing and everything, and kind of brings it down. Where you're like, oh, I have someone who's reliable that is here with me and has got my back, because people act very weird. There's a lot going on before and after pregnancy and during pregnancy and all that stuff. So you should also take up getting punched. Just learn how to get punched, take a punch, heal from a punch. It's important.
Noted. They we're not breastfeeding, so I think which means I can help with feeding the baby like immediately.
Sure,
which is good. So that's helpful. And I know how to change a diaper. And
that's good.
I don't know.
There's a lot of you're going to be learning on the fly. Just be available and helpful. Hey, don't ask stupid questions. This is like driving to Florida, right? Gave me a new perspective on why we got spanked. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So the same, don't ask stupid questions. Don't ask when they're. I think these are just good marriage advice or dealing with people advice. When someone is exasperated, you don't say what's going on, that they have to repeat everything. Be like, how can I be of help? That's not, because you want to know what's going on. That's not important. They know what's going on. That's important. How can I help? Also important. It's a weird, you kind of have to learn to be a cooler. And also, like I know a friend of mine, his oldest daughter and mom are like identical people, and they will fight, and he'll be like, hey, let me hook you up. Just don't tell your mom. And as soon as he walks away, boom, she tells the mom, and the mom's like, well, we have no rules. And like, it's a whole thing, right? So you're like, hey, and there was a weird advice where someone was like, oh, we need to move and everything because we have too many kids. And the wife was like, hold on, kids move out. This is a beautiful house and it's our house. We don't want to leave. So we will suffer for a little while. And then as they leave, we're going to be happy. It's fine. And you're like, I mean, it's not bad math, right? But it's very exciting. That's for sure.
Yeah. I know I haven't like, people are like, how many are you going to have? I'm like, let me fucking get past the first one and just see how it goes. Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
you may have, and that's the thing is it's very much like a Kinder Surprise, which I realize now you guys don't have, but like you open it and you're like, well, there are prizes I can receive. Which prize? Who knows? It may be the easiest. There's a Ramesh Ranganathan out of the UK does a joke where they had their first kid and they were like, parenting is easy. Our kid is perfect. We've mastered parenting. And then they're like, well, clearly we'll have a second. We're such good parents. And their second kid was absolutely feral. And they're like, this kid will just run into traffic. Like you have to contain this child. You can't expose them to the element. Like it's kind of like
your two kids will be feral. I was the feral kid, by the way.
Nice.
Of the two of us. Phoebe was the like, oh, everything is perfect and I'm having a tea party and I do everything mom and dad say. And then I was like, well, if I can't be the smart one, I'll be the funny one. And the way to be a funny one is to fucking throw myself into objects. Whee! And
yeah, absolutely. Tom Segura tells a story about his kids where he was like, his sister, like his nieces came and they were sitting in a room just drawing on paper with crayons. All the crayon was on the paper. It was very organized. They were perfect and magical. Yeah. And then he's like, where are my kids? And they're like, we haven't seen them in like an hour and a half. And he's like, then he goes outside and they're on someone's roof. He's like, why are you on their roof? Like, well, you're not even on our roof. What are you doing over there? And the kids are like, we were investigating something. That's fucking not your job. Just coast it down. It's hilarious. You never know. It's
like the SNL sketch with Will Ferrell. Get off the shed.
Come over there. I'm gonna beat your ass off that shit. Yeah, it's 100% gonna be an experience for you, right? And then like you said, it's once you have one, you're kind of going, okay, like it's not a surmountable task or unsurmountable task, but you still have to figure it out before overwhelming yourself. So I guess like anything, I always find it funny. Like I was at a show and this guy he wasn't heckling, but he was being a little too loud. And he's like, I could do this. I got a funny joke. And we're like, go ahead. And I think that caught him off guard because then he went up. He couldn't really do the joke, tried to do the joke, screwed up the joke. And we're like, we're not going anywhere. You can start over again happily. And then he finally got the joke out and it was a street joke. It was okay at best. And he was like, that's all I got. And you're like, all right.
Bye.
And that 100%, that guy was just like, oh, maybe I shouldn't heckle. You're like, maybe you shouldn't because it's not that easy. It's not as easy as you think, right? And that's.
On the way home on Amtrak, there were these two people from the Forest Service with microphones that were in the observation car, just telling people all the shit we were passing.
Oh.
For context, the observation car is the one with all the windows. It's where people go like, I'm going to read a book or I'm going to play cards or talk to my neighbor or whatever. And like, imagine you're talking to the person across from you and then somebody like comes in between you and was like, if you look out the window to your left, you can see a crop dusting plane. Now, these are common in the Central Valley because shut the fuck up. I can't with you people. They were there from San Jose to San Luis Obispo, just the whole way.
Hey, I want to tell you that there is a 50-50 chance that they are neither hired by the Forest Service nor hired by the train company to do that.
Yeah.
And that may have just been someone fucking with you. That's
They
yeah.
were wearing Forest Service t-shirts. It was two people, and they had like a little dinky like microphone with a thing that you carry
None of
around.
those. Hey,
Yeah.
shirts are purchasable on their website, and a mic like
True.
that is not standard issue for the
Yeah.
forest, friend. That's just that's
I know, and I really wanted to go to like the conductor and be like, "What the fuck is that? Do we have to have this?" But like, it felt kind of mean. Like if they were actually hired to do so by the train company, or just that is what they do as part of their Forest Service tree on the way to their next assignment or whatever, it would have looked like a huge dick move. So I just went back to my seat away from them and read for a while, and then I came back and checked, and they were gone. So
that's the conundrum of it, is because you're
Yeah.
like, you would be a real asshole if you did that, unless they aren't employed by the train service, and then you're not the asshole. You have figured out the scam. Were they asking for tips or anything?
no, they were just doing what they did, apparently for the love of the game. I got a picture of them. I should have sent it to you. My phone's in the other room, but like it's like two women across from each other, and one of the forest guys is like standing between,
Right
like,
in
they're
between.
sitting across, just right in between with the microphone,
Love
being
it.
like, "Okay, and we're passing a milkweed bush here, and this is where monarch butterflies lay their eggs." Like, great, shut up.
I think there's like, have you ever been on a quiet train, like where it's got quiet cars where you're not allowed to talk?
Yeah. Mhm.
I had never been on one, so we were on there, and my buddy was like, "Meet me there, and we'll go to my place. We'll take the train, and then we'll go do stuff." And I'm like, "Yeah, that sounds good." And so me and him are sitting across from each other, which has extra space because it's a big train, like it's a commuter train.
Mhm.
And we're having a conversation, and like people are getting more and more exasperated around us. And I'm like, why are these? He goes, "Oh, we're on a quiet train." I'm like, "Why are you talking to me then?" He goes, "I don't know." I'm like, "I've never ridden this train before. I don't know what a quiet train is." And I'm like, "But also, I dwarf everyone in the entire place." And they're like, "Yeah, I'm not getting involved in that." I'm like, "Yeah, that's fair. It's a smart decision." But
Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Sweaty Advice on Generation Dan. That's what I'm calling the episode, because it's too
Totally
freaking
fair.
hot. Leave a like, leave a comment, follow us at Generation Dan wherever fine social medias are found. Follow me at Atlas Novak wherever fine social medias are found. Check out my other show, Nexus at Night. That's on Fridays on YouTube at 7 p.m. Pacific. How about you, good sir?
Dino the Genetic Marvel. I'm doing stuff. I am out and about. I'm going to be heading back to Toronto to go back to regular scheduled programming soon, but I will try to do more stuff. And I'm taking a lot of pictures of my trip in BC. It's been very fun and exciting. Hopefully, we'll be able to get on stage a little bit and do some stuff and really make people laugh. But we are trying. In the meantime, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, everyone. It is wherever you are. The weather might be nice or not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not your mom. Fine. Go.
Bye,
Enjoy.
everybody.
Later.